Hello and welcome to the Collectoverse podcast, your home for all things Collectoverse. We are a small indie toy store in Prince George, British Columbia, Canada. My name is Matt Walker and I will be your host. I will oftentimes be joined by my partner Berlin McPherson as a co-host, and other times we'll have a special guest join us. Maybe both. Who knows what we'll get up to. We'll be using our time to talk mostly about toys, pop culture, and the many fandoms that we all love. We have many terrific show ideas to try, and if you keep with us, you may be surprised at what you hear. Hello! This is Matt here. I am joined by...
Berlin.
Oh, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you. Welcome to my own basement. Thanks.
Yeah, it's pretty decent studio space.
It'll do.
It'll do. Some people pay a lot of money for all this stupid crap everywhere.
Oh, great.
All right, so what do we got? What was that?
Just closing my pen.
Just snap your finger in half.
I made some notes.
Oh yes.
Episode 0.
This is episode 0.
Not really a real episode.
No, it is not really a real episode. The real episodes are going to be good. They're going to be full of guests and
topics,
guided, structured things. Mm-hmm. Even while freeform, they'll still be guided.
The edges will be tucked in.
That's right.
So
what do you want to talk about here? We got
my first topic is our name.
Our name. Okay.
Yeah.
Hello, welcome to Collectocast. Because it's a name. How do I put this? We couldn't really come up with a name very well.
Nope.
We put it out to the unpaid. What did you say there?
I said underpaid creative team.
Oh yeah, the Facebook underpaid creative team. So we made a post saying, "Hey, we're gonna do this podcast and we need some help," and everybody went on there and.
Why don't you pull that up and we'll have a look at what people suggested.
They dropped some turds on that one. Some good ones too, but...
We didn't contribute much.
No, we did not. All right. I could have brought this up beforehand. But...
Well, I can start with... Someone suggested Into the Collectoverse, which sounds beautiful. It really does. Unfortunately,
really nice.
The only use of Collectoverse that we could find... when we named our store, was the usage by the West Edmonton Coin and Stamp store.
Oh, yes.
And they have a YouTube channel, which they host shows called Into the Collectoverse.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know how regularly they're doing that. It wasn't enough, obviously, for us to not name our store Collectoverse, but specifically Into the Collectoverse. So that suggestion just ain't gonna do.
Yeah, that's not going to do it. All right, well, I've got the list here.
Okay.
We've got a couple friends popped up with things like Podverse. It's all right. It's verse, universe, whatever, but, it's a little obvious.
It's a little stale.
Yeah, it's a little obvious. All right. Yep. The one guy said hoard finds, which is all right. People love hoarding toys.
True.
I like hoarding toys. I'm sitting here looking at them right now.
They're looking at me.
He also wrote Into the Collectoverse, which obviously...
We love it. We can't use it.
We got Toys Noise.
I like that one.
It rhymes.
It does. And we are noisy.
We've got Collectocast and Into the Collectoverse. Why like it? I don't know what that means.
I think it would be the idea of telling people why they should like certain toys.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we're talking about this toy today, and here's why we like it, or why you should like it.
That's right.
I think. I did not clarify.
And then I've got also Into the Collectoverse.
How many people said that?
That's 1, 2, 3 or 4.
Great suggestion, friends.
Yeah. Oh, there's 5. So yeah, lots of Into the Collectoverse, but yeah, it's not going to do it. So we were coming up with, some names, and we came up with...
I don't love Collectocast.
No, it's not great, but
But I also never loved Collectoverse either.
Yeah. Yeah, we kind of chose that name. It's a good name, but it does not scream, come get your G.I. Joes here.
No. It screams, come get your coins and stamps.
Yeah. Come get your coins and stamps. Come get your
hockey cards.
Yeah, your sports memorabilia.
Your signed baseballs.
That's right. Come get your balls.
Come get your signed balls in glass boxes.
Right. Come get your glass balls.
Anyway, so I'm not feeling any of those.
Yeah. And that's okay. And Collectocast, we don't really know, if we're going to go with that. But we may just call the thing Collectocast as far as it goes. But we've got one we came up here, and it is Good Poopy. And yeah, I don't know.
We love Good Poopy.
That one's pretty good. I told somebody today that one, and they thought it was pretty good.
You invented it as a greeting the other morning.
It is a greeting.
When I said good morning.
Good Poopy. It's stupid, but it's fun.
It is fun.
Yeah.
It makes me smile, and I think that's an okay response.
That is good. But, for now, we're going to,
I don't know.
I don't know if we call it. I don't know what we'll call it.
I feel like it's funny when you said Collectocast leaves it kind of open for us to do what we want, which is exactly why we used Collectoverse.
Yes.
So we weren't limited to what we were collecting in the store.
Yes, exactly.
So this is kind of the exact same reason that Collecto works again.
True. And yeah, we've got we've got these where was my list? Oh, the podcast ideas and names I made.
The ideas are later in my structured notes here.
Oh.
For episode ideas anyways, we can talk about names.
Well, all right.
We're still talking about names.
Okay, we're still talking names.
Yeah.
Naming things is hard.
Yeah, that's my notes.
Collecto versus meh. That's
You're not supposed to read the notes.
Oh, okay. All right, so some of the ideas we came up with was on this
so
list.
This is for future episodes topics this is what we're talking about now.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, and here I've got I was coming up with I have the Forbidden Toy podcast and Forbidden Toys.
I think it's very alluring.
It is.
But I think it's very specific.
Well, I don't know. It
and if
depends.
it's the Forbidden Toys podcast and then we're talking to some guy about how much he loves comic books.
Yeah, so what? We can do what we want. It's 2022. You can just talk about anything you want.
It's almost 2023.
Oh my god.
I know. Sorry.
Man.
I take it back.
So anyway, the next one on the list I have is Collectocast, which is one podcast with multiple shows, which is pretty much probably where we're going to go with this.
Yeah.
Then I've got, the Forbidden Toys, which is talk regarding the toy you were most ashamed of playing. But I don't think it has to be just that. There was like a study in the 60s called the Forbidden Toys study. And it's, how did that go? They took these children and they told them, put all these toys in this room and they let the kids play with whatever they want. And then they said, hey, you can't play with this specific doll. That's a forbidden doll. Do not touch that doll. If you touch that doll, we're going to punish you.
I'd go so fast for the doll.
Yeah, but you're not allowed. You get punished. These are good kids from the 60s.
Don't press the button.
That's right. Yeah. So what they did was they found that after these kids would not touch the toys, are not allowed. Or there's two groups. One was told, don't touch this toy, specifically this toy, or you'll get a medium punishment.
Just a medium lashing.
A medium punishment. Yeah, you'll get beaten with a spaghetti. And then the other one was like, you don't touch that toy or we're gonna cut off your toe. No, they wouldn't say that. That's well, they might in the 60s.
I get where you're going.
They might in the 60s.
That's true.
Anyway, but so at the end they found that when they opened it up and they said, oh, you go play with whatever toys you want, and especially this toy if you want to, the kids who were promised a medium punishment,
spaghetti punishment,
went with the toy. Big deal, they played with it, whatever. But the kids who didn't, who were told that it would be a severe punishment, they found that these kids, how do I want to say it? They had in their mind, there's a specific name for this. I can't remember it right now. I'll look it up. I'll edit it in. I'll just punch it in.
Hold on, leave a spot right here.
Oh yeah, the name of that thing is The Effect of the Severity of Threat on the Devaluation of Forbidden Behavior by E. Aronson, 1963. Okay, so they would, what that means is they take these, you, in your mind, tell yourself it's not worth it. This thing isn't that good. I'm not going to play with it. So when it came time to them being able to play with it, they just wouldn't touch it.
I wonder if after that, like years later, they just maintained like kind of a negative feeling about that toy.
I'm not sure.
Like
probably
their kids 30 years later want the toy. They're like, fuck that toy.
Yeah. Do not touch that toy. You're not having it.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, I'm not sure. But anyway, that's the forbidden toy study.
I also like, for forbidden toys, a little less extreme.
Yes.
Of the, which I know your dad did, which was, these are my in the box in the closet toys.
Oh, yeah.
And you don't get to touch these toys.
They'll be mine eventually.
You can.
And they were.
You get the little baby toys.
Yeah. Well, no, they were the same toys.
But you don't get to touch those
Yeah,
ones.
what we had, so I remember when Ninja Turtles came out, that was like my first toy line I ever chose for me. And when the Ninja Turtles came out, yeah, I got Ninja Turtles right in front of me here, pretty much a full set.
Are they the same ones?
No, those are they're dog food by now, I'm sure. Some kid chewed on them. So yeah, I've got these the Ninja Turtles, a full set. You know, it's like 1987, 88, and I got the full set of Turtles. And my dad also bought a set, and he put it in his closet.
Forbidden toys.
Forbidden toys, and I was like, oh man, I could have those. And then one day I broke mine, and I'm like, oh man, I could probably get those ones out of the closet and have them. But I think eventually he just gave them to me.
Well, that's good.
Which he should not have, because now they're worth a lot of money.
And gone.
In the box, and you know,
yeah,
you can't even get them.
Oops.
But that's one of the ideas, forbidden toys. And then this one I came up with here was Who's That Nerd?
I love this one. Which
is, you know, local creator friends, an intro show for other guests. So I think what I mean by that is like,
should we shout out that one guy?
Oh, Joel? Yeah. So so recently I was at an event working the soundboard, and they had Joel McKay, who is the CEO of Northern Development.
Hey Joel,
if you listen to this, cool. You know, come on our podcast. It's gonna be sweet.
Yeah.
They had him on, and like I had no idea about his background in writing. I've only ever seen this guy as the CEO of Northern Development. I had no idea that he does these things, but he's like, you know, won awards for journalism, and he writes, you know, like horror fiction.
Amazing.
Yeah, there was no way I would ever know that.
He's just a regular businessman.
Yeah, he's just he's regular man, open for business. You know, write stuff on the side.
But how many of those do we have in our community?
I don't know. Does you know,
Simon Yu collecting Transformers?
Who knows? Does Selen Alpe, when he's not owning Canadian Tire, does he just have a, you know, big room full of sweet comic books? I don't know.
Detolf's full of Lego.
Yeah, who knows? Pre-built Star Wars ships.
Right.
We don't know these things, but that's, you know, these are...
Who's that nerd?
Who's that nerd? And that's the idea for that show.
Unsuspecting nerds.
That's right. Have those people on.
Talk a bit about the thing that makes them a nerd, but also...
Yeah, and then also give them 5 minutes to talk about their thing they're doing.
Whatever untoy related thing.
Yeah. So that's the one where I had, and then con jobs, convention darlings and the industry, because I think we all know this, but there's a whole industry in convention circuit. Like, you know, I follow some of these people. You know, Ming Chen's a good one that I follow, and he's here.
Hey, Ming.
He's in where is he this week? He's in he's not in Qatar. Wayne's in Qatar. He's in Dubai.
That's cool.
You know, and sharing these pictures of this giant booth, and I'm like, that's like 8 Northern FanCon booths. It's huge.
Someone commented on my signed Ming Chen figure at the store.
Yeah.
And they said, "Is that Ming Chen? Signed by Ming Chen?" It is.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. Anyways, we love you, Ming Chen.
Yeah, we do. We love you, Ming Chen. He's also going to be on. He promised me if I put together a podcast, he'd be on it.
That's the only reason we're doing this.
Literally the only reason I'm doing this.
No pressure, Ming.
No. All right. Now the next one I've got is Vintage Vixens / Victors, and that is Vintage Collectors. I couldn't think of a better name. Whatever. It's, you know, just talking to people who collect vintage toys.
Vintage only.
Vintage only.
We know a couple of those.
Yeah, there's lots of those guys around, right? And like, people don't really know this, but in Prince George, I think people can, you know, well, maybe it's different now because, you know, the money isn't worth what it was, but you can have like a pretty nice home to put all your toys in and be able to afford to buy all the toys. Traditionally in Prince George, you've been able to. And then like if you're collecting, you know, through the 90s or whatever, you had a chance to buy those things because they weren't popular. People weren't buying them. So they've got these huge collections. Like there's guys in town with like, you know, USS Flag with every version of, you know, jet on top of it. It's awesome. I could only imagine having that. All right. So what else? I've got Random Access Memory, general nostalgia talk.
Love that.
Yeah, and that's where, that's where this show could get really fun. Because you can sit there talking about things like, I don't know. Let's talk about New Kids on the Block. I don't want to. I'm not gonna. But
You
you
love
can.
New Kids on the
I
Block.
do not. Okay, I like that their latest big single. It's called "Remember the Time." It was very good because it's like a throwback. The video, the song and video have featured like Salt and Pepper and like all these like classic stars, and then the video is like Journey Separate Ways and a bunch of other classic rock videos redone with those guys. That one was pretty cool. Really, I was never a very big fan of the New Kids on the Block. I was much more of a Take That kid. Me and my Britpop. Yeah, and I think that show could go really well. Like just talking to.
You could make a whole episode on how you feel about old vinyl.
Yeah. Oh, just the smell of it. You could have a whole episode just interview people. Hey, why do you think that smell is? Not the mold, but like, the general, breaking down vinyl, like the PVC breaking down smell. There's something
Whatever
there.
that chemical reaction is.
There's something there. All right, and then I've got what have I got here? Humbug. Rate random things panel discussion.
Love it.
Grading toys and related merch. So this, we might do a thing like maybe it's the two of us, or maybe one of us and we have a guest in, and then we bring a couple kind of like remote callers in, and we just talk smack about everything. We talk about.
Is it always going to be bad reviews? Is that why it's humbug?
Yeah,
it's just always stuff that sucks.
No, it doesn't have to be stuff that sucks. It can be stuff that's like it's just rating things. It's like a random mishmash. It doesn't have to be bad, because on a panel, your chances are you're going to have somebody who's going to be like, if you say we got the new Voltron figure from. It's just because I'm looking at it. It's in front of me. You got that one from like the 2016 show, which I quite like. But I don't like the toys as much as I like the vintage toys, but I like the show a lot more than I like the vintage show. So, and the other people might have a very different feeling about that. Like, I know I definitely like the old school Voltron sword more than that new Voltron sword. It's like some sort of laser sword. It's cool, but...
Not for you.
Not for me. Yeah, that kind of stuff in that show. And then, what have I got? At the movies. Film and TV reviews. Which I think I would, I've got 4 choices here that are pretty fine films that most people have forgotten. Rocket Man from 1997. You ever seen that?
No.
So that's got Harlan Williams, and he's the Rocket Man.
Sounds great.
Oh, it's very good. So there's Dark Man. Have you seen that?
No.
Okay, it's directed by Sam Raimi. It's got Liam Neeson. It's kind of it's like a horror thriller, more a thriller.
I feel like I should watch that.
Oh, it's very good. He's a doctor, and he's inventing this new skin for burn victims, and then he himself becomes a burn victim, and he uses his own
science.
Yeah, his own science, not to help him, get along in society, but to help him sort of get revenge, sort of do the right thing. It's very good. And then on my list next, I've got The Stupids, starring Tom Arnold. It's got Bug, what's his name, who played Alfalfa from the Little Rascals. And then Dirty Work. Have you seen Dirty Work?
No.
Oh, man. You need to get out more. No, these are all from like the 90s. Dirty Work is a movie with Norm Macdonald and Bob Saget. Mm-hmm. Directed by Bob Saget.
Okay.
And it's hilarious. Artie Lang, and there are scenes in that movie that are so ridiculous. It's about these guys having a revenge for hire business, and it's a comedy.
That sounds great.
Yeah. So anyway, that's a list of stuff that I made. We wouldn't have to watch. You'd have to watch them and then talk about them. And then I've got on here The Lone Gunmen. Do you remember those guys from X-Files?
Yes.
Okay, that's why I wrote that. It doesn't have to be called that.
Okay.
But made up toy conspiracy theories.
You love made up
Try to trick
theories.
the others, or maybe 3 conspiracies, 1 true, 2 phony. But like just to try and make up stuff.
Like the game 2 Truths and a Lie?
Yeah.
But about toys.
Kind of, like, I don't know if I can come up with one right now on the spot, but you can just you can come up with something.
Didn't we find a guy not related to toys?
Yep.
But there was a guy that just had a whole TikTok channel making up his own conspiracies because he
Oh,
thought they were better than everybody
That guy's
else's.
hilarious.
Right?
Yeah, he was going on about there's like that conspiracy theory that birds don't exist.
Yeah.
But he took it one step further, and it was that I can't even remember what it was. He was really good. But yeah, anyway, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And that's all I've got on the list. I'm sure we could do more things and come up with, other stuff. And we'll also have, guests can just come in and talk about whatever.
We want to keep it loosey-goosey.
Yes, yeah. Not too rigid. Some structure, but nothing too crazy.
Not too loosey that you won't be interested because it's too far off from the last episode you listened to that you really liked.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah. Do you want me to not face your microphone?
No, that's cool. Just for separation, I think we'll probably...
What do you mean?
Hey, get out of my microphone.
Sorry, I'll stay over here.
Leave my microphone alone.
We've now entered into the ASMR portion.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Of the podcast.
I got a new toy.
Oh.
Today.
What is it?
It's this cool Bandai train bot. He's from Super Sentai. And he's got this.
I don't know what Super Sentai is.
You ever heard of Power Rangers?
Yes.
Okay, so Power Rangers is this very cool thing where Haim Saban went
that
to...
ruined my whole ASMR vibe.
Haim Saban. That's his name. He's like Haim Saban. Anyway, he found this Japanese show called Super Sentai.
May I see your toy while you tell me this story?
Yeah, for sure. Click it around a bit.
Okay,
it's
thank
pretty
you.
fun. So, Super Sentai is... You've seen Power Rangers.
I have.
Okay, so Power Rangers, if you've ever noticed, the teenagers who are living in Angel Grove and doing all of the teenager stuff, they aren't really the same builds and bodies of the cool ninjas in the suits.
Okay.
Okay? Because Super Sentai is its own show with its own storyline, but it has all of the same action scenes and all of the same monster scenes and all of the same giant robot scenes. But they just cut in all of that teenager stuff and make it an American show. So it was like, at first, it was really, really cheap to produce because they would just take this thing that already exists and make a new show with it.
Put him somewhere else. That's cool.
Yeah, that's good. Anyway, but yeah, that's Super Sentai. It's what the Power Rangers is based on, but it's not really Power Rangers.
What's one thing you want to talk about most in the future of this podcast? Or the person you want to interview the most? What's like your podcast dream?
Oh man, I don't think about the future. I don't even know what they're doing there. I can barely live in the now. I don't know. Who would I want to, like, who I would choose to interview?
Yeah.
I don't know. Somebody who's done a lot of stuff and you can make like multiple episodes out of it. Just one long show, hour-long conversation. I can just chop 4 shows out of it. I'd like that. But that's just being very, utilitarian. Mm-hmm. Because I do edit these things and it'll be, it's a bit of work. But, I don't know. I do love Ming Chen because he loves all that Canadian stuff. Because, we listen to any interview with him and he loves Degrassi. I don't like Degrassi. I think it sucks. But
I liked the one, there was one season. I think it was the one with Drake.
Oh, yeah.
In the wheelchair.
Yeah, he's disgraced now. We don't talk about him.
Oh, sorry.
What's that?
Sorry.
No, we can. You can talk about him. It's fine.
But that's the generation of Degrassi that I remember.
Yes, that's I think that's like the next generation that was very popular after, which is
one.
good. That's the stuff. I think that's where Kevin Smith comes in.
But
and
if we're talking about Ming Chen's taste and how he loves Degrassi, he also likes The Croft.
He loves The Croft.
So
he loves every dive bar. If you follow him on the like Facebook or anything, he just goes to every terrible bar in every place he goes.
That's so funny.
It's awesome. It's the real deal. That's how
he's
you know
like,
about real
please
places.
take me somewhere where my feet will stick to the floor.
Yeah,
and
gross.
there will be an ambulance outside at some point.
That's right.
Thank you.
And he loves Kids in the Hall.
He does.
And
so do you.
I love Kids in the Hall. I could talk Kids in the Hall all day. Actually, maybe I'm changing it. Maybe not. Maybe Bruce McCullough or Dave Foley.
Dave Foley.
Any kids in the Hall or Tom Green.
Remember?
I just
don't get me started on Tom Green right now.
Delicious cheese sandwich.
I'm just making a delicious cheese sandwich.
Yeah, that's from, what was that show? Last One Laughing. I think it's called Last One Laughing. It's
LOL.
Is it on Netflix?
Yeah.
Prime?
Yeah. Disney
on,
Plus? I don't know.
It's somewhere. It's on streaming, and you should watch it if you haven't
It's
seen it.
so funny. Specifically the the Canadian one.
version. Yeah.
Because there's a bunch of other ones
tried.
that didn't look very good.
No, they're not good poopy. Those ones.
Those were not good poopy.
They're just regular poopy.
But Tom Green versus Dave Foley.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man,
Mm-hmm.
a comedy battle for the ages.
That was gold. So I don't know. You got any more?
That's my notes.
All right. Well, I don't know. We're rounding the 27-minute mark.
That's pretty good.
And I think I'm gonna chop.
Or terrible. I don't know.
Whatever. It's fun. I'm gonna chop some of this up as
like
we
most
do.
of the things I said.
No, yeah, I'll just cut all of you out, and I'll have a conversation. I'll re-record all your parts.
Just
no.
do a slightly different voice.
No,
yeah.
That's ridiculous. Yeah, it's Berlin here. All right.
I don't like that.
No, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't.
Okay.
I would not dare.
Okay.
But I think if we could keep this one, around a half-hour mark,
I'm into it.
I'm good with that every week.
That was a good amount of hanging out with you.
Yeah.
A little more might be.
Yeah, a little bit more would be too much.
Live together, work together, and host a podcast together.
Oh man, too much. But yeah, if you listen to this and you enjoy this podcast, we want to make more of it, and we want to hear you tell us what you want to hear on the show.
Yes.
So any of these ideas we've dropped, any of that stuff, tell us what you think. Tell us, give us movie ideas, things that we should watch. It doesn't have to be comedy. It can be the most ridiculous horror. I don't like horror movies, but I'll watch a horror movie if I'm supposed to.
I'll watch it.
Yeah, I'll watch it.
I'll watch it better than you'll watch it.
Yeah, right. I'm a boy.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah. Everything you do is better.
Sorry, I'm from the 80s. I'm not really. I'm from the 90s.
You're kind of from the 80s.
I was born there. That's about it.
I grew
up in the 90s.
I was born over there in the 80s.
Yeah, I took part in some of it.
Should we get Molly on here to say
she
some noises?
Anything. She doesn't even make sounds.
Okay.
I couldn't even. So this guy Andy Reffelt I follow on the YouTube and Facebook. He makes these wonderful fart videos, and he's like a really good musician. The where I found him originally was like in 2013. He was making these videos that are like, he takes a live video of Megadeth and then cuts all the music out and leaves Dave Mustaine's vocal and then re-records it as reggae.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's like terrible, but it's terribly good. And he's like one of the first guys I ever watched who could take who could pull the vocal out and it sounds right and it matches the live thing. Him and like DJ Cummerbund was a bit later, but those two guys are like it. And so like Andy, I've been following him for a bit, and he put out this video the other day where he wants to make videos of your pets. I showed you this, right?
Yes.
And he wants to make, just like it can be a memorial, it can be a happy birthday.
Yeah.
It's just a gift for your partner, whatever you want to do. But he just takes these videos of your pet making noise. So if it's like a dog go, oh, he'll create music that matches that dog singing. It's absolutely brilliant for $40. I think it was
That's
$40 American. That's a really good deal.
And the video you showed me was amazing.
Oh yeah, it's hilarious.
I forget exactly what it was, but it was a dog.
Yeah.
And he was singing.
There was a cat at the end.
It was
He's
great.
singing metal. Yeah, it's gold. So, yeah,
30 minutes.
But we don't have those guys who make the noise here. So anyway, we're going to wrap it up. Mm-hmm. Thank you for listening. I'm going to throw an outro on the end of this thing.
Are you going to say, and a good poopy to you?
I am. It's going to be...
Is that going to be the official outro?
Why not? Do you want to create good poopy as a thing?
Hello, welcome to Collectocast and a good poopy to you.
Well, I guess... Okay, I'm not out quite yet. Wait. Yeah.
Christmas is coming. A Merry Poopy to everyone.
No, do not say
Why
Merry
not?
Poopy. That's ridiculous. Who do you think you are saying Merry Poopy?
And it just sounds
like
Merry
Mary
Poopy
Poppins.
to all, and to all a good night.
Yeah, it just sounds like Mary Poppins, Merry Poopy.
It does a little bit, yeah.
It does.
You got me there.
When there's certain things, there's certain words that you find that just take over. Like in the early 2000s, there was a couple people I met who would use the term tight. Mm-hmm. You know tight?
Yep.
Do you know how that works? So tight means both good. When it means both good and bad. And people come over and they go, "Hey man, I got my girlfriend pregnant." And you go,
"That's a tight spot."
And you go, "Tight." And he goes, "No, it's not good." "Ooh, tight." But or it goes the other way. And you go, "Ooh." And he said, "No, it's a really good." "Oh, tight, dude."
Yeah.
And I had this friend who could insert himself into groups, and he could use terms, and everybody would be saying it by the end of the summer.
That's impressive.
So maybe I'm going to shop good poopy to him and see what happens.
I wasn't sure where you were going.
I know you weren't sure. It's, I'm a man of a mission here.
I like the idea of saying, we also have a podcast.
Yes.
Okay, what's your podcast called? Good Poopy.
Good poopy.
And they go, why would you call it Good Poopy? Because it's good shit.
Yeah, there you go. That's good.
But, family friendly.
But family friendly. Good poopy.
Good Poopy.
All right, well, I think that's it for us. So, good night and a good poopy to you.
Thank you for listening to the Collectoverse podcast. We'll be back next week with a new episode. If you want to see what we're up to in the meantime, you can find all our socials on our website, collectoverse.ca. That is collectoverse.ca.
If you like what we do and want to hear more, please subscribe to our Patreon. Our patrons get early access to new episodes and bonus content. You can find that link on our website. That is once again collectoverse.ca, not .com.